Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. Everyone, it's Rod with Pow Group. Welcome back on The Pursuit of Wealth, your home for MJ stocks, crypto assets, news, and interviews. We're going to get started with the live stream here in about 30 seconds or so. It's Tuesday, February 18th. Hope you're well. And just sit tight. We'll get started. I see we have Ben in the house, Jam in the house. Welcome, welcome. We've got probably a dozen people rolling in so far. So we'll give it another 20 seconds or so, and then we'll get started. Smash the like. Let us know where you're tuning in from as well. Yeah, you're live, Ben. We'll take a look at Algo. I know you had requested it in the Pow Group private community update just a few moments ago before the market closed. So we'll take a look at that in just a moment. But we'll get things kicked off here. We're going to do some charts and chill. So we'll take a look at any ticker requests. If anybody does have any ticker requests, please let me know inside of the private Slack community. I'll get to those first for private members. And then anybody on YouTube, if you're a YouTube VIP member, we'll get to those first after the Power Group private community ones. And then if there's still time left, we'll go into any other just public YouTube member requests. And let me know the ticker or the crypto and the exchange, and it'll help save time. But we'll jump into, like I said, a market update, ticker requests, and we'll just come on, chill. Anybody has any questions for me? If anybody wants to talk about anything as a community, like I said, we can just chill and take a look at some charts and go from there. But before we get to it, make sure to smash like, all that good stuff. You can tick the bell to be notified on any future live streams or when I post new content. You can follow us over on X as well, formerly Twitter. Handle for that is @GroupPow. Going to be using that as my platform of choice going forward. We got Gregor and Tony in the house. Gregor, hi all. Greetings from South UK. Awesome. Absolute bloodbath today. Yeah, it's been rough. ZEBEC network. Do you have the ticker in the exchange for that one? I would love to take a look at it. We can do that here in just a moment. But hope everyone had a fantastic day today. Just gonna take a look at a couple things. Checking in on the community. So yeah, Ben wants to take a look at Algo, so we'll do that first and foremost. But we'll take a look at the S&P 500. There is a daily bull flag on deck as well, so I wanted to bring that up with all of our viewers here. And everybody's rolling in now. We've got a few dozen people joining the live stream, so welcome. Appreciate you joining. Today's been an interesting day, obviously, with this being an MJ-centric channel. There's just been an absolute bloodbath. We're not seeing that much volatility to the downside with a lot of our MJ names, but it's just been a slow bleed. Each day you're seeing a continuous drop. So I would expect some volatility to pick up soon, and it more than likely is going to be to the downside, because when you're searching for a long-term bottom, like in a bear market that's spanning multiple years, generally you see that final flush and capitulation bottom, and then an absolute torrid recovery, right? And what it reminds me of is the 2019 bear market in crypto, where Cardano ADA went from like $1.30, I think it was, all the way down to 1 penny in March of 2020, and then in September of 2021, I think it was like 15 or 18 months later, the thing went to $3.16. So 185x. If you got Cardano at 1 penny, the thing went to $3.16 a little over a year later, about a year and a half later. So you'd have if you bought $1,000 with the ADA in March 2020 at a penny, a year and a half later, you'd have basically almost $200,000, right? So there's going to be a lot of opportunity. Obviously, MJ's not going to get to the market cap or total addressable market as crypto, right? Crypto, we're talking hundreds of trillions of dollars coming to the space, whereas MJ will be lucky to even get to 1 trillion, right? Somewhere around that half a trillion mark should be doable, but it's going to take some time. But percentage wise, we'll see tons of upside in MJ. Mark my words. And speaking of which, the MJ Herald reported just a few moments ago that a new poll finds that 67% of Florida voters support legalizing MJ, including 55% of Republicans. And we know that the current president was in favor of Amendment 3. It only came within a few percentage of passing, so it was very close. Very difficult to hit that 60% threshold, but things are looking up, and we could potentially see it on the ballot for 2026, or we could see federal legislation as well. So we'll see what happens there on that front. I do want to point out some of this nonsense. Not knocking this Jeff Mackey. I've never heard of this person ever in my life. But he obviously has a pretty big following. He's got 100K followers. Like, I just don't understand. This person has 100K followers. Let me go back here. He has 100K followers, and he's looking at MSOS, and he says, legalized MJ turned out to be the stunningly horrible investment. You're tracking an ETF that's all the US producers, and you're saying it's legalized? Last time I checked, so I commented, I said, last time I checked, MJ is still federally illegal in the United States. Why are you tracking MSOS, ETF, all of the USA producers, and claiming it's been legalized? And then Michael Zimmerman responds and says the 2018 Farm Bill effectively legalized it. Texas has been historically very anti-MJ products, yet today you can walk into just about any gas station and buy all kinds of edibles and other products while it's still technically illegal. And I said, just AI it, bro, if you don't believe me. MJ remains federally illegal in the United States under the Scheduled Substances Act, where it's classified as a Schedule 1 narcotic, meaning it's considered to have no accepted medical use and high potential for abuse. 2018 Farm Bill did not fully legalize MJ, but legalized hemp, defining MJ as 0.3% psychoactive component or less, allowing cultivation, sale, or whatever, CBD and industrial products. However, MJ, with more than 0.3% psychoactive, is still illegal at the federal level, despite many states legalizing it for medical use. So the Farm Bill, in short, the Farm Bill legalized hemp, but did not change the federal status of MJ. So, people with 100,000 followers, I don't, it really burns my biscuits, not going to lie. It's very, very frustrating. And where was it? I posted another one. And another thing that just happened as well, breaking, the SEC has acknowledged a filing for the Bitwise Spot XRP ETF. So they've acknowledged a few now. And as I said in that, I feel it coming. It's going to happen. And I really do think that the crypto space is just waiting for Paul Atkins, the new SEC chair, to come in. And it's more than likely going to be in the next couple of months. So if you look at the chart, it's actually kind of lining up with that as well. It's looking like it could be another month or two before we really start to see alt season and parabolic action. But I wanted to go down and show another. Where was the other reply that I put here? Oh, something else too. I actually had Gary Cardone like my reply. So this is Grant Cardone's brother. He has 72,000 followers, and this guy's a multi-millionaire. And my reply was to this. He said, this is what happens when polls are run by people who don't understand the subject matter. The question is wrong and without measurement. Dumb polls equal dumb answers. And this was the poll here. Which crypto is the best long-term technology? Look at this. 2.2 million views, 178,000 votes, and XRP won by a landslide. And there was another poll as well from Tristan Tate, and that one was XRP dominated as well. So two different types of polls. Why doesn't he just run a poll? So I said, smell the panic in Gary Cardone. Grown men will weep. And he actually liked my reply. So I don't know what this is. Is he just a troll and put in his place and had nothing to say? I don't know. But apparently he likes me chirping him. I found that pretty funny. I was surprised he even liked my my post, to be honest, or my comment. But yeah, where was that? I was right at the top not too long ago. Anyways. He posted the chart of MSOS, and then I said, yeah, here it is here. I said, I will just leave this here. Amazon, in 1990, it dropped 95% after the dot-com boom and bust, and MSOS, guess how much it's down from its all-time high? 95%. So you can cherry pick a time frame, anything you want, but, he said, legalized MJ turned out to be a stunningly horrible investment. Okay, was Amazon a stunningly horrible investment after it dropped 95%? No. And you have to remember, like I commented here, people are saying, oh, you can't compare Amazon to, well, first of all, thank you, but I really don't care what you think. I'll compare whatever I want to compare to whatever I want to compare, and nobody's going to tell me any different, right? I'll do whatever I want. It's a free world. You can take it or leave it, but don't tell me what I can and cannot do. I certainly will not listen to anybody. I'll do whatever the hell I want. So, respectfully, go fly a kite, basically. And all these people saying, oh, you can't compare it to Amazon. You can't compare it to this. You should compare it to this. But they're not saying why. Why can't I compare it to that? Why should I compare it to something else? You're leaving out a very crucial, it's called like common sense. And if you're going to come at me with an argument or a point, well, the crucial part is saying why. So if you leave out why, it's futile. Your point or your argument is absolutely dumb. You're in the negative IQ territory. If you're telling me I can or cannot do something without telling me why I can or cannot do it, well then float. I don't want to hear you. I don't want to ever talk to you. I'm just going to start blocking people from now on. I blocked that Gary dude earlier today. I was respectful. He was getting a little bit under my skin because, like, it's just, to me, it's just unfathomably dumb. Like, if you're going to tell me why I can and cannot do something, at least tell me why, and don't, like, fill up my notification feed with nonsense, right? So I said Apple almost went bankrupt selling legal products, keyword legal, in 1997, if not for Microsoft bailing them out with a $150 million investment. And keep in mind, a $150 million investment in 1997, $150 million was a lot of money, right? Big Mac back then was what, 5 cents, 10 cents, maybe like 25 cents, right? And now a Big Mac is like $10, right? So that 150 million, that's more like $1 billion, right? Today. So that is worse, way worse than companies who are surviving selling illegal products. Okay? So Apple wouldn't even be around today if it wasn't for Microsoft giving them the 150 million investment. And then Apple ended up any given day, any other day, Apple could be worth more than Microsoft in market cap, right? So they might not even be around if it wasn't for Microsoft doing that, selling legal products. So why are you telling me I can't compare a company that's a new upcoming burgeoning industry, right? They're all the same. There's like, we have the history. You can look at this time and time again. You can look at, like, I don't know how many tech stocks. You can look, I don't know how many cryptos, blockchain stocks, electric vehicles. They've all dropped 80, 90%. Even Tesla almost went bankrupt. So again, I'll say it again. This is way worse seeing a company selling legal products that almost went bankrupt when companies who are still surviving that are selling illegal products. How do people not understand this elementary concept? I'm not trying to be condescending. Like, I'm telling you, if you don't understand the boom and bust cycles and 90% corrections in a new upcoming nascent industry, and you don't understand that this is still illegal, you may as well just not invest in MJ. I'm not here to tell you what you want to hear. I'm here to tell you what you need to hear. If you don't understand these very basic investing principles and, like, elementary concepts, you may as well just pack up your bags and leave the MJ industry and go buy the S&P 500 and forget about it, because you're not going to succeed. And I'm here and I'm telling people, I'm trying to help them, and they're like arguing with me and not even giving me a reason why. It's really annoying. I'm not going to lie. So anyway, that's my rant for the day. Let's check this next notification. Maybe it's another person. Oh, it's somebody like in the Florida ball. But yeah, you get a lot of people who just angry whenever you see all-time lows and things like that. But SPY closed at an all-time high. Didn't notice that. So that's a daily bull flag on deck. Very short daily high or low today. So you just take your measure move there from the low to the high, and we are targeting 619 now. We actually just confirmed the daily bull flag there at the end of the day. Must have been a face ripper of a rally there toward the end. Yeah. Whoa. Nice. Yeah, so daily bull flag confirmed on, I was actually going to show the chart and say we're looking at one to confirm, but it did it today at the close. So now we're looking at a measured move up to 619.81. And it's actually another monthly bull flag targeting, I think it was 687. Yeah, 687.25. So wouldn't be surprised if SPY were to hit that before the end of this bull market and the start of the next bear market. But from current levels to 687, you're looking at about another 12% of upside. That's more than doable. More than doable on the S&P 500 here in the next few months as we wrap up this bull market. But crypto recovering nicely here as well, so kind of benefiting from that S&P 500 strength into the end of the day there. I haven't seen any major news. If anybody has seen anything that would be attributed to that monster move there at the end of the day for SPY, because that was impressive. Right at the end of the day, closed at all-time highs. So we'll see what happened there. If there's any kind of news facilitating that. But yeah, crypto was pulling back pretty weak at the moment. XRP trying to hold that 250 psychological. Next major support levels at 232, I believe it was. And like I said, we had that news of the SEC acknowledging another ETF from Bitwise. All that means when they acknowledge is that they're reviewing it, and they could approve or deny. But I would assume it's probably going to be the former. So S&P 500 looking great. Tesla has been weak. I would say a temporary bottom could very soon be in. We went from all-time highs at 488 and pulled back about 33%. So a good chance that this is our bottom, temporary bottom, I think we could see 500 to 550 easily before the end of the year. And if SPY's going to 619 or 680, then Tesla might even hit like $600 or $700. But yeah, we already had the daily EMA 12 and 26 bear cross out of the way. We're still in a monthly uptrend as well for Tesla. So low, high, higher, low, and higher, high. Just looking for another monthly higher low. Very healthy at the moment. Didn't even test EMA 12 yet, so very strong still. In terms of crypto, we have ARB, ADA, and Link leading the decline. And on the bull list, we only have Litecoin. And like I said in the Pow Group private community earlier today in the Pow Group member-only live stream, I said, don't go sleeping on Litecoin. I think that one could see the next ETF approval, the front runner for that. But let me just bring up Cardano here. Okay, so before we get into MJ stocks, which we're just about to, remember that this, again, it's not just MJ. That's why like so many people don't understand markets, right? And it's not that you don't understand, so you don't have any experience. And I was like that. I got into Bitcoin in 2017, 2016, started looking into it. 2017, really started to get into it, started to learn charts, started to invest. Then I looked into MJ stocks in 2017 as well, back half. And I bought like Canopy Growth in 2018 for like $2, right? And made a lot of money on the run up, but then just didn't have the experience. And I was humbled by the market on crypto in 2019 when things dropped 80, 90%. You know, you can look in the history. You can see it happen to Apple, Amazon, Tesla. All these names have pulled back 80, 90%, and a lot of them almost went bankrupt. So what does that remind you of? Reminds you of MJ, right? It's just people have their blinders on, or they only like MJ because they're such diehard MJ fans. I get it. I am too, right? But we got to be a realist first and foremost. And this is your hard-earned money. So don't just dive into things and be like, oh, MJ, because it's my favorite thing ever. This is your hard-earned money, dude. And like guys and girls, like this, you got to really like call a spade here. And we have ample examples, no pun intended, of showing new upcoming burgeoning emerging markets where they pulled back 80, 90% and most of them went bankrupt, right? But the ones who emerged and ended up coming out of that were, you put a dent in the universe, like they changed the world, right? Like the best investments ever, right? So Cardano, I remember this in 2018, it peaked at $1.39. And then in March of 2020, it hit a penny, under 2 pennies, hit 1.7 cents. So that means Cardano pulled back almost 99%. How many people wrote it off? And then it went from 1.7 cents to a high of 316 in September of 2021. So that means 18 months later, it went 185x. Okay. So what was the high there? 319, I said? 316. So it was 316 divided by 0.017, that's 185, almost 186x. So if you bought $1,000 right here at under 2 pennies, in 18 months later, you would have had $185,000. If you put in $4,000, you'd be a millionaire. Okay. So again, MJ's not going to be like crypto, but there's going to be percentage-wise, you're going to have this opportunity. Look at CGC. Right? This thing went from $59 pre-split to 13 cents potentially. It has a daily bear flag that's about to, no, actually it did confirm. So the target is $1.32, which means don't factor in the split. That means pre-split, before it did a 1 for 10 reverse split. That would mean it's actually going to 13 cents. So 59 cents to 13 cents. That's on average about the same as the Cardano drawdown, right? That's about 99%, right? Okay. So there's been many examples where things have pulled back 99% and then went on to become life-changing wealth. So if CGC were to go back to all-time highs just from here, that's 333x. Okay? If it goes to the daily bear flag of 132 and goes back to all-time highs, that's about a 455x. So 1,000, even if you put $500 into this thing and you're like, oh, I'm out of money, right? You can't find $500. Right? I'm not telling you to buy, sell, or hold. This isn't financial advice. This is for entertainment purposes only. But let's say you put $500. If we hit $1.32, right? And keep in mind, Warren Buffett just bought Constellation Brands, $1.4 billion, I think it was. Indirect statement to the MJ industry potentially. I would say so. I don't think it's alcohol that's on the up and up. Certainly, unless it's craft beer. That's why I like Tilray, because they're into craft beer, but and the great adjacencies. But alcohol is not on the up and up, right? It's actually on the downfall. But craft beer is on the up and up, and certain different types of liquors or something like that maybe. But I would still think that most liquors are probably downtrending. But yeah, so that's a big statement there. So let's just say you work your butt off to get 500 extra bucks, right, to put into CGC even now. Even if you put in $500 in CGC now and it goes back to all-time highs, that $500 could turn into like $125,000 if it goes back to all-time highs. If you wait and get it around $1.30 and you put in a $500 there, that's like 200 and some $1,000. So let's just say, let me paint you a picture. Let's say you're like, well, what are you talking about? I already own CGC. I'm down 90%. Okay, let's just say that's the case. Let's say you bought CGC. Your average is now $50, right? Post split, it's more like $5. But let's just say your average is $50 post split, right? And you put another $500 in at $1.30. Well, that $500 could, let's say you're down 10 grand or 20 grand, right? That $500, if it goes back to all-time highs, you'd be up like over 200,000. So it's not about how much you're down. It's about learning from that, right? Okay, maybe I shouldn't have gone all in. Maybe I should have learned markets a little bit. Maybe I shouldn't have picked the most riskiest asset class next to crypto on the planet to put my hard-earned money into before I really understood the ropes, right? And the name of the game and the way the game is played, right? You don't just become a doctor. I'm going to become a doctor and then go perform open heart surgery, right? You go to school for decades, right? And even then you're like, I don't know, this is a little nerve wracking. And guess what? A lot more people become successful being doctors than I would say that do at, learning charts and being successful at investing. I would say there's probably more doctors out there than there are, self-made millionaires in charting and investing, because 99% of people lose money, right? It's like, how many people make the NHL, the NFL, the NBA? Like 1% or less of people in the world. I would equate investing and charting and trading and all this stuff to like the NHL, like how many people make these major league sports leagues, right? It's basically the same thing. It's 1% or less, right? So, and then how many people that set out to become a doctor? I would say probably a lot more than 1%, right? Does that make sense? So why are you going to pick the most volatile, riskiest asset class on the planet and then just buy it without knowing or doing any due diligence or research or familiarizing yourself with the way markets work, right? It's just, I've never seen anything like it. And then people just want to blame people without taking any kind of accountability. And I'm here to tell you that you need to take accountability. And it was you who hit the buy button. So it's your fault. It's nobody else's but your own. And then until you realize that, that's what I had to do, right? Until you realize that you're the one hitting the buy button, unless you have a financial advisor and he told you to buy MJ stocks, which I don't think that would happen on any planet, right? No financial advisor is recommending MJ stocks. So, I would assume that 99.99% of people who own MJ stocks, they hit the buy button themselves. Therefore, you're to blame. That's it. End of story. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. You need to be told that. If not, that bothers you, then this isn't for you. I can guarantee you that, right? So simple as that. Daily time frame, CGC. And again, like, I wish I could come on and tell you that CGC was a daily bull flag. I would love for it to be. I'd love for it to be a monthly bull flag targeting new all-time highs. I'd love to come on and tell everybody that, but then I'd be a liar. So if I come on here and I tell you what I see, and it's another daily bear flag target. So we had multiple bear flags, and it's not just CGC. Tilray and MSOS were bear flags as well. So if you only own CGC or you only own Tilray, or you only own MSOS, and you're not looking at the rest of the sector, well, if all the major names, if 3 out of 4 major names are daily bear flags targeting another leg down, well, isn't that information you'd want to know? So CGC just closed at the low of the day and confirmed the daily bear flag with the high, low, lower high, weak bounce. Didn't even get above the 0.236. So anything under the 0.382 fib at 219 was a daily bear flag. I mentioned this last week. I said we need to lose 175 to confirm it. We did, and we closed at the low of the day when SPY closed at the high of the day, an all-time high. What does that tell you? MJ is not popular. Big tech, crypto, AI needs to top out, and then MJ can benefit. Measured move is $1.32. Factoring in post-split of that 1 for 10, so factoring in pre-split, 13 cents CGC's at. And Warren Buffett's buying Constellation and all this stuff, as CGC's at all-time lows, right? Who knows? I don't think, until it's rescheduled at least, or federally legal in the US, I can't see any of these, sought after investors. Like Kevin O'Leary said he wanted to buy an MJ stock, and his lawyer told him, "Are you effing crazy? This is a Schedule 1 narcotic." He's like, "You couldn't do that if you wanted to." He just called him an absolute moron, basically. And then he's like, oh, well, they have good ROI. They have good numbers. He's like, "Yeah, but dude, you're high. Get off the stuff." I'm your lawyer, and I'm telling you to wake up and smell the coffee, right? He's like, "You're an idiot. There's no way in hell you're doing it. You have a fiduciary duty." And imagine if Coca-Cola invested in a Schedule 1 narcotic, their friggin' shareholders would go crazy, right? So you have to, again, be real with it. But that means there's tons of growth ahead, right? We're so early. It's not even funny. We're not even in the first inning. We're in the pregame warm-up. So yes, EGC, Tilray, daily bear flags. Tilray confirmed its daily bear flag as well with a lower low today. And it's targeting 77 cents now. I mentioned on my video earlier today that that we could see 75 cents as a potential flush down, and it might not even stop there, right? We still have the reverse split. If we get a reverse split notice, then usually that's another bearish catalyst. And then if it reverse splits, if it actually does one, then it kind of trends down into that. So it's entirely possible. It's 75 cents psychological. It's just psychological from here, 75, then 50. But again, I always joke, ACB just did its second reverse split, 1 for 10 after a 1 for 12. The new all-time high is $1,500 on ACB. And I have people commenting on my video like, why didn't I buy ACB? It's the new leader in the space. And I'm like, are you kidding me? And these are the same people. I kid you not. I see their comments all the time on my videos. They're telling me that Tilray's garbage is going to reverse split. And then on the next comment, they'll comment about ACB being awesome. And I'm like, oh my God, my brain hurts. Like, what? You're telling me that ACB is the de facto clear leader now in the space because of one earnings report, and they've done 2 reverse splits. It's literally bass backwards. Like it's almost comical. If anything, you just gotta laugh at it, and yeah, I guess the market's kind of boring sometimes. So if you can get some entertainment, then yeah, take as much as you can and when you can get it, I guess. Verano, MSOX, AYR, and CGC leading the decline today, all down basically double digits. So again, just no interest in the sector. SPY at all-time highs, daily bull flag, monthly bull flag closed at the all-time high, and MJ closing at all-time lows. Tells you everything you need to know right there. But AVCN, Oxley, and OGI are printing near the high of the day candles, but OGI's still been pretty weak. Oxley, on the other hand, this is the next Cardano ADA that I just showed you, in my opinion. Look at this thing. Closed at the high of the day, high of the month. It's actually close to confirming a monthly uptrend. It's in this equilibrium, high, low, lower high, higher low, lower high. Trying to get that higher high and bull break. So if we break 7 cents from here, monthly uptrend confirm, it would join the likes of High Tide and Cannara Biotech. Cannara Biotech was extremely bullish today as well. We hit $1.35. We came within 37% of all-time high, but pretty big sell-off there into the end of the day. We hit 135, closed at 120. So from the high of the day today to where we closed, we're down about 11%. So it finished the day down 3%, so it didn't really do it justice. You got to kind of look into that. But Oxley, don't go sleeping on this thing. If we break 7 cents, monthly uptrend confirmed, and then after that, we basically have no resistance on the price action until 35 cents. My average on this is, I think, 2 pennies, and 2 or 3 cents, I think it is. And this is one of the names that I finally am green on now. I'd say I'm up close to like 50. I think it was, I'd have to check, but because I have it in a couple accounts, so I'd have to add them all up. But I think it's around 50% up on this one now. But again, I got it. I think my average is around 2 or 3 cents. Again, it's been a while since I added up all my accounts and did the average, but and did my cost basis. But imagine buying this thing at a penny or 2 pennies, and it goes back to all-time highs at $3. Yeah, just under $3, $2.97. You don't even need it to go back to all-time highs. What if it goes just to 35 cents? That's a 34x, $1,000 into $34,000, right? And the most you can lose is $1,000. I put in quite a bit more than $1,000 into this thing. But if you haven't seen my interview with Hugo Alves, the CEO of Oxley as well, company was founded in 2017. Check it out. It was fantastic. Love the company, love the products. And we could see the first ever monthly EMA 12 and 26 bull cross as well. This thing's very little risk and could be life-changing well. All right, we'll jump into Algo for my main man, Ben. All right. Yeah, so I mentioned I kind of give you a little bit of a rundown there in the Power Group private community, but as you can see on the monthly time frame, we're close to seeing the monthly EMA 12 and 26 bull cross. Probably going to be a couple of months, and we're forming a monthly higher low now. So we are in a monthly uptrend with a low, high, higher low, and higher high. We're just looking for another monthly higher low compared to 9 cents. But it is a daily bear flag as well on Algo. We'll zoom in there in a moment. But it's still very, very healthy. We're trying to hold monthly EMA 12, and then more than likely going to be a monthly inside bar next month based on the size of this range. Then we could start the monthly bounce into April. Paul Atkins gets confirmed. We see a lot of the nonsense, non-fraud, nonsense cases being dropped, and then alt season sometime, like I said, April, blow off top around May, sell in May, go away. That could be our top. That's kind of what I'm looking at. Maybe it spills into June, but Usually alt season's only about 30 to 90 days. And I would say, we're already seeing the early stages of it, but we're not in the full heat of it yet. So I would think, maybe into next month, March or April, it starts the monthly bounce. And then, like I said, full blown alt season after that. Weekly downtrend, that means look out, that means zoom out, look for monthly consolidation. That's what happened. We lost the low of the monthly candle, so consolidation underway. Daily bear flag as well. So if you zoom out here to the daily time frame, go from our high to the swing low there. Anything under 30 cents was a potential, if you ignore these lower wicks, or sorry, these wicks here, then it's still a perfect bear flag. And the measured move is about 17 cents if confirmed. Need to lose the low there at 23 cents to confirm it. And to negate it, we would need to get above 31 cents. But like I said, just ignoring those upper wicks, it's a perfect daily bear flag. Weekly time frame, yeah, we already did the stochastic and the MACD bear cross, so that's one positive thing. Like I said, short term, we're still probably expecting a little bit more downside, but longer term, we're starting to turn things around here a bit. We just had the 50 and the 100 weekly bull cross, but still, I would say at least a couple months away before we see the, maybe even longer than that, maybe 3 months before we look how far away they are from the 50 and the 200 crossing. It's no wonder that XRP has been so much stronger, right? Because it already had its 50 and 200 weekly moving average bull cross and then saw a massive move, and it's probably not done yet. Whereas Algo is still a ways away before that same thing happens, right? XLM just had its 50 and 200 following big brother, big sister, XRP, whatever you want to call it. So I would expect a huge move on XLM soon as well. Algo on the daily time frame, we could see a 50-day and 100-day bear cross, and then a potential death cross with the 50 and the 200-day. So again, I'm pretty bearish here in the short term. And again, it feels like the crypto space is just waiting for Paul Atkins to come in and give us some clarity, because generally you don't see these high profile cases that are going on multiple years be resolved by an acting interim chair, right? It's usually the permanent replacement that comes in that's probably going to settle it, right? But again, big tech crypto AI is the talk of the town. It's stealing the show. And what has been in a 5-year bull market? Pretty much everything. What has been in a 5-year bear market? Psychedelics, MJ, and some biotech, right? So I think MJ, psychedelics, and biotech, once big tech crypto AI ends its 5-year bull market, 5-year plus potentially, then I think we're going to see MJ could drop, quite a bit if we see the broader market, the bottom fall out of it in like a black swan, and, major sell-off. The S&P 500 is down 10%. Well, MJ is probably going to be down 20% that day, but it could go on to become the best performing sector, one of, if not the best performing sector, in my opinion, over the coming years. Similar to what happened in 2018 when Canada legalized at the federal level. Major reform at the federal level in the US, same kind of scenario, really. And I'm going to be looking to rotate, like I said, a lot of my crypto profits soon over to more beaten down MJ. And with this daily bear flag confirming on CGC and Tilray, it's looking like I'm going to potentially get my wish to just continue to see this drop and then rotate my profits into more beaten down MJ. But yeah, again, if you're not looking at all of the names, MSOS, very bearish as well. Closed at the low. New all-time low today, actually. 327, and we hit 325. Closed at the low. Next target's 306 of this descending triangle. So 306 on MSOS. Again, that just makes sense, right? If CGC and Tilray, one of the leaders in Canada, by market cap, and then MSOS tracks all the major names in the US, if they're all targeting another leg lower, well, what are we going to expect? A leg higher? Probably not, right? Probably going to expect more of the same. All right. See if there's any other POW group private members. POW group private member just shared this. Am I the only one seeing this? XAI and Elon Musk shocked the world with mind-blowing Grok 3 demos yesterday. Yeah, that looks like XLM, doesn't it? Well, it looks like Saturn, but what does XLM look like? The Saturn. And you have to remember that, look at that Saturn ring, right? You have to remember that PayPal had a division called PayPal Galactic, right? And then they kind of like kiboshed it. And then actually PayPal had a mission. Let me just see if I can bring that up. I think it was like in the 90s. PayPal mission global peer-to-peer. Let me just see. Yeah, there was a video of Peter Thiel, and it was like in the late 1990s, I think, or it might even been like around 1990. And he said basically PayPal's mission is to um, create a global peer-to-peer digital like currency. Yeah, it was in 1998. It was founded, so it was like around there when they created PayPal, and that was their mission was to become like a global peer-to-peer like no intermediary system. And PayPal even had a division called PayPal Galactic, and then they got rid of it. And then Elon Musk went on and they left PayPal. And yeah, he had X.com and now he has X.com, right? And yeah, there's a lot of speculation that XLM and XRP is basically the backing of the PayPal mafia, right? Into the Power Group private community there. I'll see if there's any other news or ticker requests as well. And then we'll jump into the chat here. All right. So we got Ben's algo done. So I think we're good for the POW Group private members. And then, like I said, if any VIP members here on YouTube, we'll get to those next. And again, I get a lot of people confused. Like if you go to pursuitofwealthgroup.com or powgroup.ca, these memberships here are different than the YouTube one. So if you go to YouTube and click join, this one's $2.99. So there's all the benefits you get. I do these POW Group private member videos. This is for the Slack community. This is for the other one on at my website, so pursuitofwealthgroup.com, all of these memberships. And then if you click on those, there's a video explaining it. And then there's also all of this here explaining it and some screenshots on exactly what it is. And then, so if you want to join the YouTube one, the VIP, you get access to all these perks. And then I upload these videos that I do in here for POW Group private members for VIP members, but you don't have as much insight. You can't like ask for tick requests and things like that. And this is where I spend all of my time is inside the POW Group private community where we have about 50 different private members. And like I said, we have automatic news fetching and I have like a couple dozen publishers in here. You don't even have to go to different news sites. You find out about it before anybody. It's advanced news reporting, automatic fetching, and separates everything nice and cleanly through crypto, MJ News. I talk to people in the POW Group private community all the time, and they're like, "Where do you get your news from?" And they're just like, "This community, like everything that I need is here." And same thing with me. Like I don't even go to different news outlets anymore because it's all just there. So if you want this membership on YouTube, you can do that. But if you want more tailored, if you want access to all of the POW Group private members where we have a community of traders and investors, then that's for you. But just so everybody's aware, it's a little confusing. Maybe I'll have to change the name or something like that. But yeah, hopefully that makes sense. All right, so we have Mr. Mankey in the house. How you doing, my friend? We got first VIP member here on YouTube. Just went to my local dispensary in Ohio and found rips, and people were talking about buying into Tilray. Funny enough, this is insane. Yeah. As well as selling the beverages and stuff. I was just listening, nothing engaged in. And just give me a second here. I'm texting someone. I got to go fix a sink with my business partner at one of my long-term rentals here after this. So perfect. All right. So as well as selling beverages and stuff, I was just listening, nothing engaging. Gotcha. I really hope not. 1 for 10 would put us at $10 about right. I think I'd have an average of $16. Still need to understand split stuff. Yeah, so you just multiply the price by 10 and then divide the number of shares by 10. Regular stock split, you divide the share price by 10 and you times the shares by 10. So essentially a regular stock split is if Amazon's $2,000, right, or $1,000 for easy math, if it's $1,000 and it does a regular 10 for 1 split, well, now it becomes $100 and it's easier for people to buy one share. And with crypto and blockchain, eventually everything's it's already happening. There's certain places where you can buy like 0.1 of a share of Tesla, right? And it's fractionalized is what it's called, right? Fractionalized stocks or whatever. And that's what crypto created. And then eventually crypto is going to be on the blockchain and trade 24/7, 365. There'll be no opening and closing bell. There'll be no like banks are only open on the weekend or anything like that. It's going to be open 24/7, always on, right? So yeah, the reason why they created normal stock splits was because retail gets priced out, and what do they need us for? Exit liquidity, right? They need us to buy their when it's at the top, they suck us all in, and all the market makers sell, and they want to get us to buy in. So why do you think Amazon did a regular stock split at the highs before a massive crash, right? So if we go back here, look at this. It did a stock split, and people started selling into that, right? And it continued to drop even after the split. So June and then January took like 6 months before it bottomed out after the split. But once it was announced, this is when all the the Warren Buffetts and the smart money was selling, was they knew the split was coming, and then everybody else was like, "Yeah, give me that split," and then they buy it, and then like, "Yeah, I'm a genius," and then it drops another 45%, and they sell, capitulate. This isn't for me, and then it goes on another face melting rally, right? But yeah, there's so many examples of splits being done at the top. Another example is Tesla. So look at Tesla. It did a split here, a 5-for-1, and then it did a 3-for-1, and then again it took like 6 months after for it to bottom out. And then everybody gets scared and panics, and then it goes on new all-time high, right? And they get priced out, and they sell the bottom and buy the top. It's so easy to understand, but it's just people listen to their emotions versus logic, right? Common sense just isn't commonly practiced, especially in the financial markets. But it's rigged against us, right? This is what the media does. They get you perma bull at the top when you should be selling, and they get you perma bearish at the bottom when you should be buying, right? It's not easy. That's why you need to do thousands and thousands of hours worth of research and due diligence and practicing, and use paper money. Don't use real money to start. Use paper money. Don't get FOMO, right? Don't use that instant gratification mindset, which that's why meme coins are so big, right? People want to buy like Pepe coin or Shiba Inu, and they want to buy it today and be rich next week, right? That's exactly what's wrong with investing. That's why I don't like options. I don't like leverage, margin, and meme coins, is because it's that instant gratification, get rich quick mentality. And that in my 30 almost 35 years of life, there's no shortcuts in life, right? You might get lucky, but that's less than 1% of the time. I would say 0.001%. You get lucky and become a millionaire or something, right? And most people who become a millionaire lose it all, because if it was by luck, you have no idea how to keep it, right? And you just indulge and burn through it quicker than you got it, right? So it's about the journey. It's about the ride there and what you learn along the way. It's about going through the trials and the tribulations and getting knocked down and getting back up again and learning and failing forward, right? It's so common, like it's so common in my brain and so easy. It's just, again, people, they don't want to put in the work. They don't want to research. They don't want to better themselves. They don't want to grow. They just want someone to tell them what to do. They want to go on YouTube, watch they don't want to watch a 10-minute video. They don't want to watch a 20-minute video. They want to watch like a 4 to 8 minute one. And if it's more than 8 minutes, like, and then they want to watch a video in 4 and 8 minutes, become an expert and buy something and then be rich next week. That just doesn't happen. You're living in fairy tale land that doesn't exist, right? All right, not seeing any other requests from POW Group private members or VIP members, so we'll jump into the public one here. So ZEBEC. Oh, it's on Solana. It's a meme coin? Yeah, just be careful. ZEBEC. You didn't tell me which exchange, I don't think. Yeah, again, if you can let me know the crypto and the exchange, or the stock and the exchange, then that way it's a lot quicker. So like, for example, ZBC and USD on OKX or Poloniex or something like that. But yeah, I'm not seeing ZEBEC. Sorry. And if it's on Solana, I assume it's a meme coin. I'd just be very cautious. The thing is with meme coins, once the average person buys into it, it's already up. Like, there's already multimillionaires created and sold, and a rug pulling you, right? So, sorry, this is crypto. No, we can look at it whatever we want, really. Ethereum, never heard of that one either. It's like a knockoff of Ethereum. Yeah, I'm not seeing that one either. Sorry, I'm not trying to skip over it, but I'm not seeing it. ZBCN also not. Oh, and ZBCN. And again, no exchange, so I'm just guessing at this point. ZBCN USDT on HDX. Would it be this one here? Yeah, it must be this one. So yeah, I mean, it was just at a, what, 1/100th of a penny? And now it's at a 20th of a penny. um, yeah, I'd be careful with this thing. Like a daily time frame, huge daily overbought. This thing's probably going to pull back like 30-40%, no problem. So if you're looking for an entry on this one, I'd probably wait for daily oversold territory. Maybe look to enter on daily oversold with a tight stop, and just be very careful chasing now. Yeah, the next major resistance is at 0.003, so little over 1/3 of a penny. Hourly time frame. Yeah, this thing's full on beast mode. Yeah, we've already had some bull flags as well, so be very careful. What's the market cap on this thing? Volume 1 billion. Decent volume. Not showing the market cap here, but yeah, like we have no weekly support for like 60% away. So I'd just be very, very cautious on this one. I'd probably want to get it close down here to like 0.0013, or maybe a backtest to EMA 26 around 0.00112. But yeah, I'd probably be waiting for at least a 30 to 40% pullback before I even bought any of it. It's already up about 159%. Not that much comparative to some other names like XLM, and a few other names after the election in the US went up like 700 or 800%. So I know absolutely nothing about this. So from a technical perspective, there's not a whole lot of chart history, and just be very cautious with this one. CGC, if you have time, please. Curious at the level since Buffett bought Constellation Brands. Jam says, yeah. So I think I already kind of answered your question. So like I said, daily bear flag confirmed. We were talking about this in the Power Group private community today. Actually, somebody else pointed it out, and I had remembered that I drew it on the chart last week. Closed at the low. So yeah, 132 is the next target, but 150 psychological, and then 132 after that. So you can start to scale in essentially there. But yeah, Buffett 1.4 billion into Constellation indirectly, kind of supporting vote of confidence for MJ, but he didn't buy MJ directly. So, but again, we can kind of read between the lines here, and it's I don't think it's alcohol that he's bullish on. Like most people are bearish on alcohol. So, like I said, unless it's craft beer, then I'm super bullish on craft beer. Excuse me. I was an Intel bag holder for years and sold it 2 weeks ago, and now it rockets for some reason. Yeah, we had a POW algo alert go, buy alert go off on that. INTC, right? Yeah. Yeah, we had a POW algo buy alert go off. You have to remember, right? NVDA just topped out, and this is a chip maker, right? And it was at like 52-week lows. So just look at NVDA, right? Like NVDA pulled back from all-time high. It was down about 26%. So you have to wonder, like, okay, it's like AMD and INTC, MU's another one, Micron. That one's gaining quite a bit here in the last couple of months. It's up like 25%. So NVDA, it was kind of seeing, it's the chip play. And then INTC was just a huge laggard, right? So this was a nice entry here. We dropped to $18 and then we hit $18 again. So that was a nice double bottom. You could have entered there with a stop below $18 and you'd be up 50%. That's why technical analysis works. And if you just know a little bit about support and resistances, that's all you need to know, right? Look at it. Like we're in chip mode, right? And this thing's down 73%. It's Intel. I don't think it's going anywhere anytime soon. Could be wrong, but I really don't think so. And then it's down, like I said, 70 some percent, down like 73%. And then you had an opportunity here to add on a monthly trend change as well. We just confirmed a monthly uptrend with a low, high, higher low, and higher high. So even if you just entered here on the monthly uptrend confirming, but then, it's kind of risky at that point. I would enter. I like the double bottom there at $18. That would have been a solid entry. But yeah, parabolic moonshot here. SpaceX looking rocket ship. And a huge gap down. Fill in the gap, right? We have a gap there at 28.89 and we're 27.55. So this is another name we easily pull back 20, 30%. No problem. Man, every time I start these live streams, my phone just goes absolutely insane. Like I've had I'm counting like 30 notifications already since I started this stream in 51 minutes. It's just nuts. All right, we'll go through this a little quicker here. Yay, thanks, Rod. Thanks for all that you do. My pleasure. No problem at all, Tech Monkey. Appreciate you joining the stream. Same thing with everybody else as well. House, Jam, everybody. Tony, I'm not going to get into everybody's name probably, but I always make a mistake, start naming names, and then I forget somebody and I feel bad. But love y'all. Thank you very much for joining. Some AYR, please. Yeah, I'd just be careful on AYR. I've been waving the red flag on this one for a while now, ever since Florida didn't approve. It's a massive weekly bear flag targeting 26 cents. And in order to confirm the weekly bear flag, we need to lose 53 cents. So all-time lows, all about 53 cents, 50 psychological, lose that. Then we could easily see another 50% of downside. I'd very, very careful. One thing I learned about it in crypto and MJ is be patient. And when you don't think it can go any lower, it can go a lot lower than that times 10, right? So if you're looking to add some AYR, I would say just be very cautious long term. Like it's got a lot of debt. I don't know if it's going to make it through the other side. And when it's all said and done in the long term, I would say it's more than likely a buyout candidate. Maybe Trueleaf comes in with a lot of synergies and similar markets and buys it up for pennies on the dollar, or Cureleaf or a Cresco or something like that. Green Thumb, who knows? But yeah, I would say the most likely scenario is that they get bought out versus like bankruptcy or something like that. But not a big fan. Just be all about 53 cents. Look at that, lose that, weekly bear flag confirmed, and could see 26 cents. Only thing I'm waiting for is reversal signals. Yeah, and that's kind of why I like looking at technical analysis, right? Like I come over here, I look, okay, do we have a weekly MACD stochastic bull cross? Are we back above the 10-week moving average? Do we have our weekly moving average bull crosses, or the daily moving average bullish? Are we above all of our daily moving averages? Are we above all of our weekly moving averages? Are we in a monthly uptrend? Is there like an inverse head and shoulders or something that confirmed with a target higher? Like, 8 out of 10 indicators are all showing bullish, well, then we're going to be bullish, right? But if 8 out of those same 10 indicators are all bearish and we're well below all of our daily moving averages, and we're seeing MACD and stochastic bear crosses on the weekly time frame, well, 80% of the indicators are bearish, we're going to be bearish, right? As much as we want the MJ industry to go up, we're 100% bullish all the time, perma-bull. But if 80% of the indicators that we follow are bearish, why are we going to be bullish, right? We can be bullish long term, right? But again, you got to be real. Reversal in MJ. Yeah, exactly. There's no, it's going to be at least 3 or 4 months bare minimum before we can confirm monthly uptrends across the sector. So I wouldn't be looking at any major reversal signs until then. Oh, you want to look at Ethereum? Oh, okay. Well, that's easy. I definitely know Ethereum. So yeah, weekly bounce underway, still in a weekly downtrend, which means monthly consolidation. You zoom out to the monthly. Yes, we lost the low of last month, so consolidation. We had support there at 21.16 and we hit 21.50. So this is another double bottom opportunity, kind of like Intel that I just mentioned. You could have entered with a stop below $2,000, and even now you'd be up 23%. But I'm not a huge fan of Ethereum. I mean, the thing was just at $80. Actually, yeah, $80 here in $90 in 2020. The thing went up 6,000%. Like maybe this thing goes to $6,000 to $10,000 before the end of the cycle. But even if it goes to 10,000, that's only a 300% move here. XLM did that in like a week. So yeah, I'd just be cautious on Ethereum, and I think they very well could be sued. And you have to remember, with the SEC being investigated by Doge, not the coin, not the dog coin, the Department of Government Efficiency, there's a thing called ETHgate, and if they look into that and they find corruption at its peak, that might not look good for Ethereum. And if you watch the movie, not XRP Unleashed, but what did they change the name of that movie to? Someone in the comments type it. I can't remember. I'll just look XRP Unleashed documentary. Man, I really can't remember it. It's getting late in the day. New name. Rigged from the start. There you go. So that tells you all that you need to know. The name of it is rigged from the start, and there's like ties to like CCP, like Communist China Party or whatever it's called. So yeah, just be very cautious on that one. But it is showing some signs of a reversal here. It could very well see, like if we just go from our FIB tool here, from the high to the low there, it's also a cup and handle similar to Bitcoin. You know, I would say the 2.618 is probably about as high as it's going to get, and that would put us around 11,000. I can't see it going much higher than that. Maybe 11 to 13,000. I can't see much higher than that. So, like I said, just be very cautious on that one. VFF will dominate one day. Yeah, I'm not like super bullish on them. They're very close to getting a reverse split as well. I think they have until April 16th to regain compliance, and they already got an extension at one point. So I'd say like an 80 to 90% chance this is going to do a reverse split to maintain its NASDAQ listing. And that's probably going to be a sell the news, and then into the reverse split is usually bad. So yeah, I'd be cautious. I'm still very, very patient with it. BFF, I own like a tiny bit. It's less than 1% of my MJ portfolio into it. I'm just being very patient. Still at least 6 months by the looks of it before we see the monthly EMA 12 and 26 bull cross. So be very cautious on this one. I do like the stock though. I like their products. I don't know about their tomatoes and stuff like that, but their pure sun farm is pretty damn good. All right, gonna start wrapping it up. I gotta head out here in the next 10 minutes or so. That's right, baby Oxley. I've got over 1.5 milli shares. Nice. We got a Scott Oxley whale in the house. Nice. Yeah, I wish you all the best, my friend. I think you're gonna do well. I'm holding ACV from both reverse split and oh, really, Tashi? So I'm just curious, was it the first reverse split that made you bullish or the second one? Because it's so funny. Everybody's bullish on it now. And I'm like, wait, didn't you just say Tilray's bearish because they're doing a reverse split and they're going to go bankrupt? And he's like, yep. It's like, but you like ACB. And they're like, yep. They had a good earnings report. It's like, you do know that they did 2 reverse splits. What? No way. I didn't know that. It's so funny. People have memories of a goldfish, or they just got in and didn't know, right? Like the last one was in February 2024. So most people just don't know, or they don't pay enough attention that they don't see it there, right? And believe me, the ride was not fun. After the split, it's really a nightmare to bring the average down. My ACB average is still too high, so pray no split for Tilray. Yeah, but like I said, Tashi, they did a second reverse split, and now everybody loves Aurora. So maybe Tilray just needs to just do 2 reverse splits back to back, and then everybody will be like, oh yeah, yeah, okay. I'm just having fun. It's kind of silly, but funny nonetheless. Rod, do you think ATAI will do anything with the confirmation of RF Kennedy? Tech Monkey. Good question. I don't know what that even is. ATAI. Life Sciences. What is that? Like a psychedelic play? Excuse me. Biotech maybe. Yeah, biotech. Clinical stage. Sounds like psychedelic or some sort of mental health disorder. Yeah. So, yeah, I'm very bullish on psychedelics. MJ, once big tech, crypto, and AI top out, it's looking pretty decent here. Weekly time frame, monthly bounce underway, weekly bounce underway. Just had a weekly higher low, so still in a weekly uptrend as well. Daily time frame, not looking too bad here. So yeah, I mean, we just had a monster move and then pulled back 25%. So, but No weekly support all the way down to 137. We do have EMA 12 there at $1.75. But yeah, I think there's a very good chance that psychedelics, MJ, and biotech sector just ends up being the best performing sectors over the coming years, especially once big tech, crypto, and AI top out. Whenever that is, I think it's sooner than later. Hopefully that answers the question. Like I said, I got to start wrapping it up here. J Elves, when will be the next rescheduling meeting? We don't know. It's up to the DEA head, and there's talks about like the DOJ maybe just doing like a direct ruling. We'll see what happens. There's a lot. No one has a crystal ball, so we'll see what happens. It could be anytime. If you have 16 now and it's split at 1 to 10, then your average will be 160. Yeah, if you have an average of 16, yeah, exactly. You just times it by 10, right? Oh my God, my phone blowing up. But like, don't think about it what your average is, right? It doesn't matter what your shares are, what your average is. It's the net asset value. So if you have $1,000 worth of a stock and it does a reverse split, you still have $1,000 worth of that stock, right? So don't think about it as like, oh, I'll have less shares because people associate less shares to less money, right? Or it's going to be harder to get my money back. It's just an accounting trick. It doesn't mean anything, right? Like INSG, for example, right? I mentioned this in my Tilray video. This is a 5G play. It's not an MJ stock. It just did a reverse split, a 1 for 10, and it went from $1.62 up to $20.67. I bought this under $2. I sold it like maybe around $5, I think. Could have made a lot more money, but it went up 1,200%, 12x, right? So just because it doesn't a reverse split doesn't mean it's the end of the world. And again, don't think about it in terms of your average and your shares going down. Just think about it. What's the value of my investment? If you have $1,000 into XYZ stock and it does a reverse split, you still have $1,000 of that stock, right? Unless it dropped like maybe 5-10% on the news of the reverse split happening, right? And then you may have like $900 or $950 or something like that, right? But it's still the same amount of value. Same thing with a regular stock split, right? If the price goes down and the shares go up, well, you still have the same amount of money. And if the share goes down and the price goes up and the shares go down, you still have the same amount of money versus a regular one where share price goes down and shares go up. It's just more piece of the pie, right? Thank you, Rod. You bet. We got wild, put it all on red, a couple margin calls and still swinging for the fences. Yeah, don't do that. Yeah, that's why I don't play options. I don't play leverage. Don't do margin. Don't do meme coins. You're in the most riskiest asset classes on the planet, crypto and MJ. Why are you gonna play with fire even more? You're already playing with fire. Why are you gonna hook yourself up to a friggin' flamethrower? You know, it's like using a flamethrower in like a 4x4 room. You know, you're just like torching yourself, and you have nowhere to go. You know. PSNY. I'm gonna have to end it there, Michael. I'm sorry. I have to get going. It's over an hour here, and yeah, I have to get going. Oh, we'll do this one actually. Just what's it? PSNY. So daily EMA 12 and 26 bull cross. Still in a weekly downtrend. We're working on a weekly uptrend here. Low, high, higher, low, and higher, high. It's actually a inverse head and shoulders here. So let me just get that pattern here and we can take a look at what that might be. So we go from there to there to there to there. Voila. Just a real quick guesstimate. And then go from the low to the high. So if we were break out there, that'd be a move up to around $1.79. So in order to confirm that, I need to get over 126. Monthly time frame, still working on a monthly uptrend. We're actually in a monthly downtrend, lower highs and lower lows. So we have our low, high, the bounce, higher low. We need the higher high. Key resistance is going to be 194. Break that, monthly uptrend confirmed, and then we're probably heading to the next resistance there at 265. Hopefully that helps. Jatinder in the house, another VIP member. People need to stop focus on the price and start focusing on the business. This is the best advice I have for MJ investors. Look at 10, 20 years. Think about the business after that time. Yeah, I couldn't agree more. And look at Amazon, right? It dropped 95% selling legal products. Okay, that's way worse than companies dropping 95% selling illegal products. At least they have an excuse. It's illegal in the biggest economy in the world. Amazon went almost bankrupt and dropped 95% selling legal in the biggest economy in the world. Like, come on. It's literally not that hard, folks. It's not that hard at all. It's just emotions cloud your judgment and people don't understand, right? Uh, it's not because they don't understand, it's because they're emotional, right? It's like talking to a wall at that point. You might as well be speaking Chinese to an Englishman, right? Or English to a Chineseman, because it's not going to make any sense. You're not dealing with logic, you're dealing with emotions, right? So that's, I would recommend that there, Jay Alves. Like, just kind of call a spade again. And if people are emotional, there's no point in even trying to convince them of logic, right? So Jatinder, hello, Rod. I appreciate your effort. I put in more than it's been 4 years, and I'm following in your great videos. Thank you very much. I appreciate the support. I've learned a lot from you. My pleasure, and glad you're learning. LTC, please. Yeah, okay. We'll look at if there's any more requests. I'll do requests for VIP members. But then that's going to be the last one. So Litecoin, yeah, it's been noticeably strong. I think it's going to be probably the next one in line for an ETF. And key resistance is going to be 147.22. After that, nothing until 302. And then, do I already have it here? Yes, I do. So FIB tool, if we do what Bitcoin did and hit its 4.618 and then some, we could see somewhere around $1,800 to $2,000 Litecoin. And I think easily this cycle in alt season over the next few months toward the end of the year, I think we could easily, come in this area here between the 3.618 and the 2.618. So somewhere around $1,000 to $1,500 is what I'm kind of looking at. But yeah, it's noticeably strong here on the daily time frame. Daily uptrend still intact. Weekly time frame. Yeah, we were in a weekly downtrend, but weekly inside bar at the moment. Shorter level time frames. Yeah, no major red flags there whatsoever. So let's actually get a quick update on this chart here. See what's going on the weekly moving averages. Yeah, we're close to seeing a 15 to 200 weekly moving average bull cross, similar to XLM and XRP. So don't go sleeping on Litecoin. Like I said, I think $1,000 very doable this cycle. Hopefully that helps. Cybin and MNMD, Brad wants to look at. I'll have to look at those. Again, they're kind of just like an MJ stock right now. They're still kind of falling by the wayside. We need big tech, crypto, AI to top out, and we don't just need promises. We don't just need politicians. We already seen that the Trump play, like he talked about approval or supporting Amendment 3, talked about rescheduling, safer banking, and then the other side of the aisle, the Democrats wanted to federally legalize it. So people don't care what you say, they want action. So until we get action, until like safer banking gets a done deal, not just going through the process, right? And the process is moving along. Look what happened with the rescheduling process. It was moving along, didn't do anything. We're dropping to lower lows. What we actually need is rescheduling. We need full enactment. We need 280E to go away, or we see these companies accept credit cards in the U.S., right? Safer banking, traditional access to funding, uplisting to the NYSE and the NASDAQ. When like one of those three things happen, excise taxes being confirmed in Canada lower. Like these are all things that could really move the needle. But it's not just speculation. It's not just things advancing. It's we need concrete things to happen. And same thing with psychedelics. So I'm looking at Cybin as an entry in MNMD. I actually took one position on Cybin. I still have yet to enter MNMD, but maybe I'll do a psychedelic video at some point soon, Brad. That's a good idea. I hate to say it. There's going to be people who bail, I think you meant bail, on the 30-day warning. It's actually a 180-day and 6-month warning. And then they could get an extension from there. So then it'd be another 6 months, another 180 days. So essentially, effectively, they have a year to regain compliance. If Tilray were to get a warning, let's say, well, they wouldn't because they start still into the 30-day. They need to trade under $1 for 30 days consecutively. Let's say after that, I think that's what you were thinking of. But once they get 30 days under $1, they get the warning, and then it could be a year from there where they're forced to do a reverse split. What could happen in a year, right? Lots could happen organically. Safer banking, rescheduling, uplisting the NYSE and the NASDAQ, maybe even an attempt to deschedule. Who knows? So I think it's planned. Something's going to happen here. Thoughts on GTBIF? Yeah, it's just the same as most MJ at the moment. Still need to confirm monthly uptrends. No sign of it. We were talking about that in the POW group private community today. Everybody was like, some people, I mentioned to one POW group private member, I think it was Raj, but yeah, even everybody's saying it, right? Like I see tons of people all the time on my comment videos, like Tilray needs to do this, this, and this before they're profitable, and before they recover. And it's mostly have to do with some sort of profitability metrics being hit. Well, Green Thumb's cash flow positive and free cash flow, all that stuff. And the stock's down almost 60% since April. So I don't subscribe to that. What I think it is we need big tech, crypto, AI to top out, enter a bear market. Simple as that. And then we need concrete things, like very tangible and like I said, things actually being enacted, like rescheduling actually being enacted, 280E going away, or safer banking getting passed and becoming 100% official. We need those 100% done deals. before the sector. It doesn't matter if you're profitable, unprofitable, whatever, right? Amazon almost went Apple almost went bankrupt in 1997 if it wasn't for Microsoft building them out with 150 million, right? So some of the best companies out there almost go bankrupt, and they're and it's almost sad. It's almost even worse, right? It's almost more sad. Apple almost went bankrupt selling legal products, and yet we're so easy to criticize these companies that are selling illegal products in the US. Like, if you want to blame someone, well, first of all, like I said, blame yourself for hitting the buy button when you did. But, secondly, if you want to blame someone, blame the governments, right? like, why are we almost 7 years legal in Canada and the US can't get their crap together? No offense, but like, come on. 80 to 90% of your citizens want it legalized. Come on. I thought you were there for the people. Weren't you put it there by the people and paid for by the people? Why aren't you doing what the people want? Thought we live in a democracy, not a bureaucracy. Things that make you go, right? Just I've never seen so much fear and scarcity. Yeah, I have 2019 crypto, March 2020 C19, seen it multiple times. 1929 Great Depression, 2008 financial crisis. What else? There's lots actually. Feelings on SNDL lately, pretty quiet, but I'm liking it. I think it's going to see a big move soon to play catch up. But again, all MJ stocks are going to recover, especially all these major names, right? We need the whole sector to confirm monthly uptrend. It's going to be a quite a whiles away. Savage Faith in the house. Thank you very much. Smash the like button. Appreciate it. You have such a solid, respectful family, Rod. Great job, my friend. Yeah, thank you very much. Not a single bot, not a single chirper or troll. Love it. Really, it's quite astonishing. I honestly, I don't even know if I've ever seen this in YouTube land before. So kudos to all of you guys and gals. You're truly a pleasure to come on here and to interact with. Curious all over Tilray undervalued or valued based on, totally undervalued. Yeah. Look at, just look up the Seeking Alpha article by Alan Brockstein. I haven't heard from him in a while. He did a great article saying why it was undervalued. And yeah, not many people would tell you it's undervalued because their share price is low and people think share price is indicative of a company's value or a sector's value, right? But it's not. Thank you, Rod. You bet. Have you heard of Kutoshi? Just curious. No, I haven't. Sounds like some sort of meme coin. So again, I'd be very cautious on that one. That's what I was thinking, Rod. That's how I need to get you with that. The value is always there. I can lower my value. Yeah, like don't think of a reverse split as all my shares are going down. As long as the value of the investment stays the same. If you wake up pre-split the day before the split, your account value is $1,000 in that stock, and then the next day it does the split, and your account is still at $1,000 in that stock, then no harm, no foul. It's almost like it didn't even happen, right? It's just an accounting trick. Same thing with a regular stock split. So it's just a way for them to game the system even more, right? And until people understand that, they might never understand it, and you'll never be successful. Because if you don't want to learn how the game is played, and it's rigged from the start, right? Just to quote that documentary name, and it's rigged against us. It's like worse than a casino. It's like you're going to lose 90% of the time or more. Whereas in a casino, it's like, 60, 70% of the time you're going to lose to the house, right? But this, not only did they rig the stock market, they rigged the press and the media, right? Like, look at Jim Cramer. There's a reason why you do the exact opposite that he says to do and you win, right? It's because it's news for the masses, not for the classes. Over time, when I do get there, I'm only hearing MJ. Personally, I'm all right with the flamethrower. I got to learn how to see it. Yeah, exactly. Michael says, thanks, Rod. You bet. My pleasure. Got to get used to those 70% crashes for my future. So it's just after being here for so long. Yeah, exactly. Working on the end. But, without the 70% crashes, you can't have that life-changing volatility to the upside either, right? If a name isn't dropping 50, 70% from all-time highs in a new bear market, well, that means it's probably like an Amazon. And, if you put $100,000 into Amazon, for that to 10x is like, you'd be there for like years, right? Like, imagine waiting for Amazon to 10x now. Like it's almost like impossible. It might die before that happens, right? But back in the day, it 10x in like a week or like a day sometimes, right? Maybe not a day, but volatility to the downside is good because it still means there's a lot of opportunity to the upside. MJ is the greatest. Love smoking it. I like the other companies. The benefit out of it. Just got to keep thinking forward. Yeah, and it's not just a fun thing to do. This is medicine, right? This is what you have to remember. Like some of these companies selling alcohol, poison, it's not medicine, right? And they're a couple $100 billion valuations, right? And they're selling poison. MJ is a healthier alternative to alcohol and tobacco. It's not poison. It's never killed a single person ever, right? There's never been one fatality linked directly to MJ use, ever, ever. So, and it's medicine, right? Talk to somebody with epilepsy and tell me that, this doesn't change their life. Preach, Rod, preach. Yeah, you bet. Here for the long, long term, here for a good time, not a long time. It reminds me of that song. Just a matter of time till people that called us crazy tell us we're geniuses. No, they'll call you lucky. That's what they do. After you have the stick to itiveness and you stick through the long haul and you're here for the thick and the thin. You're here through the peaks and the valleys. At the end, they'll call you lucky. That's what they'll do. That's what they did to me in crypto. Oh, you XRP fan, you're such an idiot. Like, I can't believe how dumb you are. And then XRP goes to all-time highs. And they're like, you're lucky. It's like, oh yeah, I just did thousands of hours of research and, like hours and hours a day of my life researching this one digital asset. And I got lucky. Must have been that 1,000 hours worth of research that I did. Yeah, real lucky. Rod for the win. Absolutely, yes, it is medicine. You're right. Thank you, Rod. Preach it out. Always be here. You bet. Thanks for your hard work, Rod. Unfortunately, things like this are not valued enough. Now, I appreciate it, and I again, there's enough channels out there telling you, people like giving you fluff and clickbait and looking for views and subscribers and all that stuff. I really don't care. My channel will grow as fast as it'll grow based on me being real with you folks and just speaking from the heart, really, quite frankly. So, as always a great time, and love coming on and spending time with everybody. It's truly a blast. So thank you very much for all of the support. It's unwavering, and it definitely goes both ways. I can't tell you how much I appreciate it. So thank you very much, everyone, and for joining us again on The Pursuit of Wealth. It's Rod with POW Group. Have a fantastic rest of your day, and we'll see you again on the next video.